Okay, everyone. Good morning. It is 10 o'clock a.m. We are going to go ahead and get started. If you don't already, please go ahead and turn your camera on. It's just going to be a lot easier for me to communicate with you guys if you do. And I know it is 10 o'clock, so still early in the morning, but who cares what you look like at this point? We're all on the same page. Judy's like, my camera hasn't been working. You lie. Just kidding. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining today. As you can see, you're looking at the screen that says, "Are you ready to launch?" So if you haven't joined these calls yet, you're not going to be lost too much, I promise. But throughout these calls, our goal is to assist you in completing our pre-launch checklist guide that we made ourselves to kind of get you guys situated with KV Core and prepared in the most simplistic way humanly possible. So if you haven't downloaded that guide already, please do so. I did go ahead and add it in the chat. So you can click on it and it'll automatically download to your computer. So let's go ahead and get started. Let's do a little recap of last week. So up to this point, here is that pre-launch checklist guide. So up to this point, we have gone over the whole beginning of the packet, just some preliminary things. And our goal to this point has been completing step 1. So that's even before logging into KV Core. We have been working on getting your database ready. That way, once you're ready to upload it into KV Core, you are fully ready to go and you feel confident in doing so. So with this, I'm not going to go ahead and reiterate everything we've gone over in the past 2 weeks, but getting your database ready is probably one of the most important things when it comes to using this system. So within this video here, if you haven't joined us on the last calls, I discuss how to prepare and upload your contacts, whether you're currently using a different CRM, whether you don't have your database in a system at all, or if you want to start fresh with KV Core's template that they have. So before I go into kind of our next steps and go over the topic that we're highlighting on today's call, I want to go ahead and give the floor to you guys. Usually this is the point where I ask if you guys have any issues with step 1, with uploading your database, so on and so forth. I want to hear from you guys. So has anybody added their contacts into the system thus far?
I have.
Okay. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks, Stacy, for unmuting. Perfect. That's great, because that tells me, okay, from last week, you guys have accomplished some new things this week. Has anybody kind of been stuck, struggling to get their contacts into the system? Nope. Some of us are probably like, I haven't even tried yet, Anna. You're way ahead of me. Okay. No problem. Well, again, as always, if you struggle and you're like, I don't even know where to start, I have watched the videos, but I'm still lost, please contact us at help@rmxexecutive.com. And we'll go ahead and help you. I've even had some people send me their Excel spreadsheets. That way I can take a look at it and send it back to them before they upload them into the system. So one thing that I do want to mention about your contacts before we begin is, one, your contacts are completely private. Myself and leadership in the company cannot click on your contacts, see any information about them. They show private on our end. So if you were to leave the company by any means or go individual, whatever you would want, that we would not take any of your contacts whatsoever or your leads. On the other hand, we do encourage that you upload your database into the system for one reason solely, and that is because if you have them in your system, no other agent will have access to kind of stealing that lead from you. If that contact is looking at somebody else's website on remax.com, they land on someone else's listing, that contact is in your database, so they'll always be routed back to you. So that's the reason why we suggest you upload your database. Okay, so as we're moving on, so we're gonna scratch talking too much about uploading your contacts into the database. I am going to show this again, as I always do. If you have not downloaded the Remax powered by kvCORE app, you're going to definitely want to do so. And something I haven't mentioned thus far, if you respond to a lead via your phone, via your phone number through iMessage, or if you have an Android, whatever it may be, we just don't suggest that you do it. The system is meant to work that it's just notifying you if you get a lead via text, but what you're supposed to do is go into the app and then text them back through the app. If you text it regularly with your cell phone number, you're going to get very confused. It's going to send you to another agent because it's going to think you're another lead. So try not to mess up the system. Do not respond to any text that you get through kvCORE through your regular cell phone number. Use the app to text them. Make sense? Okay. Something else I want to mention as well. A lot of you have been saying, what the heck is this phone number in my account? This is not my number. Let me go ahead and show you this. So looking at kvCORE right now, if you look at the top right of your screen, you'll see your name. There will be a phone number here. That is the number that you should save in your phone as kvCORE lead. This is the number that kvCORE is going to use to text you upon getting a new lead. It's also going to be the number it uses when it tries to call you to connect you with that lead in real time. So do not text this number. Do not call this number. Do not even think about using that number or anything, okay? Bottom line. So I hope that makes some sense. All right. So today, before we kind of go into a little bit of Q&A, I want to talk about promoting your listing. So each time we do one of these calls, I want to kind of bring up something new to you guys to get you a little more excited about the platform and to see what else it can do. Last week, Erin talked in depth more about the website and the features that you can use to make your website look very fancy. I know last week it went over some of your guys' head. It went over my head a little bit too, because it's very intricate. But nonetheless, for your websites, we're looking at creating a checklist that will help you guys walk through that as well. So this week, we are going to highlight for about 10 minutes or so promoting your listing. So what I would love to do is go ahead and show you the navigation of it and then ask any questions as we go on. So over here on the left-hand side of your toolbar, if you go ahead and click on Playbooks at the very top left, you have a few options here. One of those options is to promote a listing that you currently have. Now, if you don't currently have any listings, skip past that right now, okay? So if
I did this last week and it's great. Just to let you know, I mean, this is good. So listen up, and it's okay if you don't have listings, just call somebody in our office and they'll let you use theirs.
Thank you for being my cheerleader, Nicole. Okay, so if you open a playbook, now we're looking at my account so I can see all of the company's listings. However, if you wanted to promote a different person's listings, you can in our company. Just go ahead and ask them if you can do so. I'm going to go ahead and click on, let's see, who has a listing currently that would like to be used as a guinea pig? Okay, Philip, go ahead. Let's see if I can, what's the listing? What's the address? Better unmute yourself. You raise your hand in my class, you gotta unmute.
It's actually pending, but you might be able to still use it. 212 Minnow Lane.
And NOW,
Yes.
see if it pulls up. No listing.
It seems like it has to be active. I'm not positive, but I tried to promote some old listings of mine and it didn't work. So, but they were closed. I mean, so maybe pending will work.
I don't
You want
think
to try
it-
using one of mine, 606 St. Cloud Drive, and Saint is spelled out.
not showing available. Let me try a different way. I'm just going to use one of these. Thank you. So I want to clarify real quick, this promote a listing is different from what you may have seen called property boosting. When you do a property boost, it requires advertising dollars to be put behind it, and you can boost a active, pending, sold, all that kind of property, all those things. What we're doing now, promote a listing, is a little bit different, so hang with me. So if I have a listing here and I click start promoting, what it's going to do is allow you guys to notify any agents of that listing that you have. That way you can get the word out and the agents can get the word out about to their buyers, excuse me. So I will say there is a restriction with this currently. For example, if you are in one of our Charlotte offices, you can only notify agents within your particular office. Now we're working with KV Core to see if they can open that so you can notify any agent within RE/MAX Executive. So we're hoping for that feature. However, if you want to notify agents outside of just your office, what you can do is send a message over to our team at help@rmexexecutive.com, and we can go ahead and notify everyone on your behalf. You'll just have to let us know which offices you want us to notify. So I would click in your account, you're only going to see the office that you're in, by the way. It's going to say RE/MAX Executive, but it's just sending that notification to agents in your office. As you can see, we have access to all of our offices. So you can also select the teams to notify. You can also select the users to notify as well, just a little filter option. Now, this is what the template will look like. It automatically creates one for you. It says new listing announcement, yada, yada, yada. Here's some basic details about the property. It will automatically insert the listing address for you. That's what these little brackets are. It'll automatically insert the listing's main photo from MLS, the price, bedrooms, bath, the square footage. And then once you click find matching buyers, or the agent will click find matching buyers on their end, it'll help them navigate which buyers would be best for that particular listing. So some other options on the left-hand side over here, contact matching buyers. It says this play lets you filter your contacts into a list of buyers who may be interested in your listing. So in terms of the playbook, it has a few different plays per se. So 1, notifying other agents, 2, contact matching buyers. It also has leveraging social media and following up and communicating. So the playbooks are kind of a full scope of what you should be doing upon having a new listing. So has anybody used, Nicole, you said you've used this recently?
Well, no, I boosted a property, so I paid $45. So it's different. I'm sorry.
No, you're okay. So has anybody used Lone Wolf, Wolf Connect to notify other agents about listings? See some people shaking their head. Karen said yes. Okay, so we currently utilize our accounting system. It's called Wolf Connect or Lone Wolf. It's connected to our accounting system, which means it automatically connects to all of the roster of all of our agents in our company. So that is something similar to this. It allows you to send a mass email in bulk to agents within particular offices. This is basically the same thing. If anyone wants to know how to do that in Lone Wolf, it's on the agent portal, or please just ask us and we can go ahead and walk you through that. So, however, this is perfect because it's connecting with your CRM and it's making sure that it's tracking all of the information through it. So I wanted to go ahead and give you guys information on this. Let's see some of these other plays down here. So leveraging social media, that's where it'll say, okay, maybe it's time to do a property boost, as Nicole was saying, and this is where you put advertising dollars behind it to go ahead and advertise on Facebook. There's also digital promotion. It'll already automatically create what's called squeeze pages and landing pages. It's basically just an off page that's connected to your website. And it's just like a listing landing page per se. So you can advertise these as well, or you can post these on social media. It'll connect you right here to post it to Facebook. And also follow up and communicate, initiate seller report email, and active smart campaign. So there's a lot to these playbooks. It's kind of full encompassing everything that you should be doing for a particular listing. It's giving you the playbook saying, here, take it and run with it. This is what you should do. Does anyone have any questions on that? Okay. What I'm going to do right now is pull up an article for you guys that you can read more about this, because I don't want to go too far in depth and confuse the heck out of y'all. So let me get that article. By the way, I've said this before, if you guys have any questions whatsoever on anything in particular, kvCORE has a plethora of support articles, videos, guides, and I swear they're actually very helpful. If you click over to support and training on the left and click support center, it'll take you to their help desk. Just scroll up a bit and you'll see support center. So if I go to search all articles, let's just search promote a listing. And it's the very one that pops up. So I'll go ahead and send this in the chat. If you guys want to look at this later, go ahead and click on it now so it pulls up as a second tab on your screen. Okay, so that is a little highlight of promoting a listing. Now, what I would love to go over is the rest of this checklist, your next steps kind of for next week before we do our hard launch of kvCORE. So that would be the very last page of your checklist guide. It's step number 3 along with step number 4. So step number 3 is kvCORE's agent launch checklist. A lot of you have probably seen this little blue checklist pop up on the bottom left of your screen when you've logged in, right? Some of you have probably gotten annoyed because some of those items in the checklist are not going away, even though you think you're completing them all, right? If you're noticing that you've completed those items, but it's still not marking it as complete, go ahead and click back on that section of the checklist and just navigate through everything over and over again. Don't click out of it. It wants to take you through all of the navigation before it gives you that check mark. If you're still running into an issue and you're like, just get this thing off of my screen, then just shoot us a message. We'll ask for your login and we'll try to do a manual push for you. Okay. But when you first log into kvCORE, after you've completed all the other steps, it is very crucial that you watch this how to initially set up your account video. Just going to give you are suggestions on what to do with this checklist. And then we have little items for actually completing each item of the checklist. What I don't want you guys to do is look at this checklist and just try to push it off your screen. This checklist is actually super helpful on completing your profile, downloading the apps, personalizing your website a bit, and then adding contacts. And these last two, power up automation and generate new leads. If you skip past these and don't really read into what they're telling you, you're going to be a bit lost. So I promise they're really helpful. Now, once you finish this checklist, we suggest taking KV Core's Agent Quick Start course. This is going to be the best way for you guys to kind of learn everything about KV Core in a self-paced course. I've sent this course out to other people, no matter what learning pace they're used to, whether they're tech savvy or not. This course it takes about an hour and a half to complete fully. However, even when I took it, you have to stop, pause. Okay, I didn't quite understand that. Let me rewind and go back. So this course is going to be more helpful for you right now prior to us doing our hard launch. So we didn't want to recreate the wheel and create our own course for you guys because this one is already super helpful in and of itself. Also, once you do complete this course, it's going to give us on our end the check mark that you've completed it. That way we can start having more in-depth conversations with you guys on how to do specific things. So again, don't just take the course and then mark it as checked off on your list. I want you to thoroughly understand the course. And if you are an admin on the call today, there is also a course on Admin Quick Start. And although you probably won't be responsible for doing all of the things within that course, it is still very helpful information for you to know. So I do suggest for anyone that's an assistant, an office administrator in our offices, I suggest taking that course as well. And any course, again, can be found within your KV Core account by clicking on support and training and going to the support center. Okay. Last thing I want to mention before we kind of do a Q&A, if you look at your KV Core account, there is this quick actions button at the top. If you click on it, you'll see we've added some links for easy access for you guys. There is a link to go to Max Center if you have to update anything. That way it pulls over to KV Core, such as your headshot photo. There's the link for the agent portal. There's the pre-launch checklist guide if you guys forget where the link is to that. And then some more in-depth things over here, a property report, get an instant insurance quote, and a clue report. Those last three are connected to our affiliate companies, Executive Home Lending, Executive Home Insurance, and Executive Title. Those three options are free to you guys. That's something that we offer to our agents just for their own benefit. We don't charge you guys for it. We don't, bother you with, hey, we want your business, yada, yada. Those are just there for you guys. So just wanted to make that clear. Okay. I am officially done talking. My mouth is dry. So let's go ahead and do kind of like a Q&A. If anyone has any questions, bring them at me.
Bill Gallagher, take a sip of something. Take a sip of something, everybody. That's what he would say.
Okay,
I'll go if nobody has anything.
go ahead,
Is-
Philip.
Is our old app connected to this, or is there a new app now? For searching properties, not KV Core.
Yeah. So you're talking about just the regular remax.com app.
Yes.
Yeah, that is not different at all. It's still the Remax app. The only way it connects to KV Core per se is if you send somebody your version of the mobile app. So you're their preferred buyer agent. If they do anything, search on your website, yada, yada, all that information is going to KV Core. So it might have some behavioral automations. If a lead favorites a property, KV Core is going to show you that they favorited the property. So it's kind of the back end of it a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Karen said, I'm not seeing the app. The first screen told us to download. Karen, let me pull this up for you. So the app, the RE/MAX powered by KV Core app is actually hidden in the App Store for iPhones and Androids. So the only way that you can get to it is either hover over this QR code and download the app. I'll leave it there for a second. I'll show you another way where you can download it if you're on your phone. Abraham said my listing is on coming soon and it does not appear. I'm gonna write that down, Abraham, and get back to you after our call. Okay.
I have actually talked to RE/MAX LLC about that because, you know, on Megaphone, those never showed up either if they were coming soon. And what they told me, now I don't know if this will change with KV Core, is that all the MLSs have different marketing rules. So every MLS differs on what they're allowed to do with the coming soon. So I think that that's why a lot of the coming soon listings don't always pull in, but I don't know if that'll change when we get that new design center or not.
That's good to know.
But yeah, I mean, I just figured it might be important for all to have context if for some reason it doesn't change. I know, because coming soon's been a lot bigger of a deal the last couple of years since the market's been kind of crazy. So it's hard not having being able to do your flyers and stuff when it's coming soon. But if they don't, then that's why I think is because the MLSs all differ on what you're allowed to do with coming soon listings. So
Gotcha.
I have a question. I used and somewhat used the First by RE/MAX app on my phone, and of course it's got like 2,867 contacts. Half of those, I don't even know where half of those people came from. Is that worthwhile to try to pull over? I don't even know how to begin to do that. Like I pulled over contacts from my own Excel database that I just kind of keep in my computer. But I mean, should I, and if I do figure out a way to download the information and get it over to KV Core, will it add somebody twice? Like if Robin Pittman's already in there, will it add her or just kind of update information? How does that work?
So let me say the First app is not connected with MaxTech powered by KV Core. That is something that they told us may happen in the future. I'm very much a person that is like, I'll wait to believe it after I see it being done.
Well, I can export. I mean, I just clicked a button and exported my contacts CSV. So
right, yeah. So I think that app is extremely helpful for showing you which the people in your contacts and your sphere that you should be reaching out to, because they're searching the internet and it makes it look like they're going to sell their property. So that app is giving you very crucial data. So I do think exporting information from there and importing it into your CRM with KV Core is very helpful. As long as you set them up, I would probably set them up all on an automatic campaign for sellers. So I would hashtag those people, Nicole, as the First app, and then set up everyone with that hashtag with a campaign for that hashtag.
okay, but will they like if they're already in KV Core because I uploaded them to KV Core, is it now going to put them in twice?
Whenever you do an upload, it'll show you any duplicates that you already have.
Okay,
So you might just have to sift through it a little bit. That
All
way
right.
can like bulk hashtag those specific people.
Okay, all right, great. Thank you.
Cindy said, I already have a KV Core account with my California office and it shows California properties. Will I have 2 different accounts or do I need to delete, which I don't really use? Cindy, that is a great question. So you should technically have, if I'm not mistaken, 2 different KV Core accounts to log into. And the only reason I'm saying that is because I have 2 different KV Core accounts that I can log into. Now they might combine them. We'll just have to reach out to KV Core and Remax and ask. But I'm assuming that your California office, you said one, which I don't really use. Yeah, so we can probably make your main KV Core account reflect, Remax Executive. So I'm going to go ahead and mark that down and I will contact Remax and KV Core on your behalf and I'll CC you on the message after this call. I'm glad you mentioned that.
Anna,
Mm-hmm.
to kind of spin off of that, so I am using Joshua's login. Is there going to be an issue if he was to log in and I was to be logged in at the same time since we have the same login?
I haven't heard of it being an issue.
Okay.
Sometimes when you log into the same system, it'll log the other, it's like Netflix now, it'll like log you out. I haven't heard of that being an issue though.
Okay.
Any other questions, guys? Nope. Let me go ahead and talk real quick about the automation.
Hang on, I'm sorry, I couldn't find the right screen. I have a question.
Go ahead, Nicole.
Okay, so let's see here. Mark Hatcher, great job. Just hit us with, new listing announcement. It looks wonderful. Email came in from this training. Down at the bottom, there are 2 links, view the listing and find matching buyers. And when I click find matching buyers, it tells me, it takes me to KV Core, it takes me to my CRM, and it tells me, of course, that there are no matching results. And I'm sure that's because I don't have the information in there for anything to match. So what in the world would I put in there that would match? Like I haven't put all that stuff in there because it's all overwhelming. But I mean, this is really a cool program. I mean, it definitely has a lot of oomph behind it. If we can really get in there and use it, it's just kind of overwhelming. So that's cool that I got that from Mark, but I have no buyers looking for that. How would my program know? What am I supposed to do to make sure the program knows?
That is a good question.
See, isn't that cool? Find matching buyers. How about that?
Yeah.
I figured I'd just give it a shot.
Yeah. Nice job, Mark. Thanks. Gives us something to practice.
Thanks, Nick.
Okay, so for those of you who might not have gotten this email, again, just remember, if you're not in the Ballantyne office, you probably did not get this message because Mark and Nicole are both in our Ballantyne office. It only sends to people in your office. So Nicole, you're saying you clicked on find matching buyers?
Yeah.
Hannah, could that be changed? I mean, shouldn't it go out to everybody Remax Executive?
Right now, it doesn't have the capability to do that, but I've been kind of pushing them to get that. So I'm hoping for it, but right now it's not. So if you wanted it to go out to everybody and you email our help@rmex.com email address, we can send it out on your behalf to everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know you guys didn't set it up that way, but that's silly.
Yeah, it needs to go out to everybody. Yeah.
I agree, y'all. So a workaround around that, just email us, be like, hey, can you promote this for me to everyone? Or if you want it to just specific offices, we can do that too. Okay.
All right. So it looks like Lizette had some people that were possibly interested, right? You clicked that link and this is what showed up on your screen.
So this is,
9 people from her contact list might be interested. And that's because look at that little pull down she's got. Interest.
what are you looking at, Nicole?
I'm looking at, if you'll look, you've got first line, private lead, active lead, look over it. It says location, Indian Land. Interest, 519, no type, 3-bedroom, last visit 9 days ago. So somehow she's got a list of their interests. It's all the same, it looks like. So that's interesting.
So I would say that it's using artificial intelligence to compare Mark's listing with whatever her buyers are interested in.
Yeah,
So if you have like a regular lead come in and it favorites a property, the AI looks at the aesthetic of the home first and foremost. It also looks at the bedroom type, bathroom type, all that stuff. And it puts that information in that contact within KV Core. So I'm assuming that it's using AI to show you Lizette right now. So Mark, you should probably contact Lizette and be like, hey.
well,
But
I
I wouldn't
wonder
know
what,
that if I didn't look at your
That's right.
database there.
that's right.
It-
So what would happen if you, would you click on a couple of those and see what your next job, what does it do now? I mean, if you click on all those, can you send it to, is there another action? You know, can you send the property to Amber?
Well, this is Lizette's contact.
Okay, right.
So you would probably contact Lizette, but if you guys remember when I was promoting the property earlier. Did anyone's? It shows you contact matching buyers.
Mm-hmm.
So you have the option to kind of see that on your end. And send text messages.
Yeah, but these would be your own buyers. And like Mark said, I mean, you're in Lizette's, you see which buyers of hers are interested, but see, Mark's not going to see that. I'm not going to see that because they're not our contacts.
And you're not so exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's kind of up to the agent whether or not they want to connect their client with the property that you're listing.
Right. Right.
Hey, Lizette, you got a minute?
You got
how
9
can they
minutes.
change
Seems like
that?
you got
How can
9
they-
contacts.
How would they change that template? Like if Mark wanted to add like his team name, logo, or, you know, kind of create a template that every time you can just pop in the picture, or maybe it's a luxury property and you want to create a luxury template for, and I know this is just going out to the agents and stuff, but that first impression is important when you get a new listing and you want to send that out.
So I don't think you can edit this, but I don't think, actually, I don't even think you can edit this particular one, Erin.
Okay.
It says right here, email template edit.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
this is what I'm talking about. Like on MailChimp, where you can add the link, like the MLS, you know, see more on MLS or whatever, and videos if they have like a drone video of the property. Cool.
Mhm.
Yeah, this is what I was looking for.
Yep.
How did you get there? Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So in this first one, email template, there's the edit button right here.
Okay, cool. And that way they can just like start and make a template. Like, here's the one for luxury properties, and here, you know, one that they can just kind of use every time and just pop in the pictures.
Yeah, this is the template that it's using right here, promote a listing. So you can create your own and then add any template here that you would want. So you guys can also use this, not just when you have a new listing, but even if you have anything else that you would want to send to any other agent. Obviously, don't abuse it, but yes. So that is the way that you can just contact other agents in your office. Karen said for the CRM, what is the minimum information that we need to import? I believe it's you have to import an email address. So name, first name, last name, email address. If you don't have an email address for that person, it will automatically create like a kvcore@kvcore.com one. It just needs to have something in there. And I think that's it, but let's go ahead. Let me take a look. If anyone has any other questions, feel free to ask. Also, when you send throughout the checklist, that pre-launch checklist that we have for you guys, we suggest that you send your contacts to kvCORE to allow them to upload them into the system. There's two options. You can either do it yourself or send it to kvCORE's lead import service. If you send it to them and they don't have substantial information to put it into your system for you, they'll shoot you an email. I've seen it come through on other people's. They'll shoot you an email and be like, hey, you need to add A, B, and C. So that's just something helpful for you guys. I believe, however, the minimum is first name, last name, and either a phone number or email address. I think it has to have one of those. So Karen, if I find an article that's helpful on that, I'll send it your way. Any other questions, guys? Anything else you want me to go over? Aaron, the answer to that question is yes. Because think about it, you're just promoting your listing out, saying, hey, take a look at me. Let's get connected. And it is up to them if they want to go through with it or not. I love you guys are direct messaging me. I hope that you don't mind. I'm reading these out loud. Bala said, in case I want to have a one-on-one support question on kvCORE, will you be the point of contact? Of course, either myself or one of my team members, Amy or Aaron, you can always reach out to us at help@rmxexecutive.com and we can kind of do a one-on-one with you. Also, something I want to remind you guys as well, within your checklist, if you have specific questions about some things, we might refer you over to someone from kvCORE. So on the second page of that checklist, there's a ton of support channels for you guys. At the very bottom, it says book a one-on-one call. And you can book a call with a support rep or a marketplace representative if you're interested in learning more about advertising dollars and the options available with more lead generation stuff in there. So yeah, of course, Bala, we would not mind at all sitting down on a one-on-one with you via Zoom and doing some stuff, but just wanted to make you aware of those options as well. Aaron or Amy, can you put our email address in the chat, please? Okay. It is almost 10:45, so we are out of time today. However, as always, I am always willing to stay on and keep chatting with you guys. As long as you have questions, I will continue to try and help. So for those that want to hop off, feel free. Otherwise, feel free to stay on and I'll just be here if anyone has questions. I think Tavia waved bye. Bye, Tavia. Tuesday and Thursday mornings become a bit tricky for me, but I will be watching the recordings and tuning in live. Thanks for information. Thank you, Gigi. I guess for those that are still on, I want to ask, have you guys been receiving pretty good leads from KV Core? And if you haven't received any, please let me know as well. I've heard some great things that people received a lead through KV Core, and I think it was Bob Aaron, one of our bigs in Asheville, and he's like, yeah, I have a closing coming up soon based on a KV Core lead. We'll have to get a testimonial from him. No questions, guys?
I think there's a couple things in the chat.
Okay.
I think Suzette is getting, has some kind of weird thing going on with mobile leads with Nora's name on it.
Interesting.
And
That's
then
good.
the rental leads. Oh yeah, Charlotte. I think the Charlotte people are probably getting a lot of rental leads.
Yeah, for all of my Charlotte people, keep in mind the market that you're in. I mean, in Charlotte, there's a lot of people that rent, as compared to a different market in a different area. So you guys are just gonna naturally see more of those leads coming in, but also keep in mind if they're at a certain price point or whatever it may be, maybe they're moving in from a different area and they want to be in an area that has nice schools because in a year they want to purchase a home in that area so their kids can go to that school, yada, yada. Keep that in mind, and you can always decline the rental lead if you don't want it. Patricia said, as far as I know, I haven't received any leads.
And Abraham says he's got a rental lead from Greenville, South Carolina, and he lives in Fort Mill. I'm kind of wondering if the website, because there's website areas like on your website, if that has anything to do with it.
Abraham, are you on our Premier team, right?
That's fine.
Yes. There is a glitch with everyone on the Premier team. Their websites are showing, your website is showing that you're based in Greenville. We're working on fixing that with them. Because you guys have an office in Greenville as well, somehow it's defaulting to that and it's connecting to all of Greenville's MLSs. So we're trying to work with them to fix that. I've been messaging them back and forth about this regarding agents on your team. So just an FYI, you can always transfer that lead to myself and I can go ahead and get it over to an agent in that particular area. So just a suggestion, or you can always decline it. Great listing on a lead the first day. It's our job to turn them. Karen, I got a great listing and lead on the first day of KV Core. I'm also getting a lot of rental leads. It's our job to turn them into buyers too. I like that thought process. Okay, thank you, Suzette. Thanks. I do want to reiterate, does everyone have the number in their account saved in their phone? That is super important. So that number that I showed you guys earlier that you see in your account, make sure that you save that number. This is a different number than what might be in your account. So save the number in your account as a KV Core lead on your phone. Make sure you do not text that number, you do not call that number, or it's going to think you're a lead and route you to a different agent. Suzette, this number up here, if you log into your specific account, this number up here is, you're going to want to save that in your phone as KV Core lead. So that's the number that KV Core is going to use to call you, to connect you to a lead. That's the number that it's going to text you upon having a new lead. If you text that number, or if you respond to a lead to that number from your phone, it's going to add you to lead routing. It's going to think you're a lead. So do not text that number. Do not call that number. If you get a new lead and it gives you a notification via text, make sure you go immediately into the app and you can text them from the app. Okay, any other questions, guys? We are going to continue Thursday at 10 a.m. Your homework is to make sure that you go through this checklist and complete pages 3 and 4 all the way to this Agent Quick Start course. This is going to help you a lot more in terms of understanding things when we are ready to do a hard launch in September and when we're going to travel to your locations to go ahead and do a more in-depth training. When we do travel to your offices in starting in September, we're going to have the option to schedule a one-on-one with me in person as I'm at your location. It'll be like a 15 to 30-minute conversation, and you can ask me anything. We can walk through stuff together. That is going to be an option. You'll see that further down the road. But it's a lot easier for me to help you guys if you have done this pre-launch checklist. So just keep that in mind. I want to see that you guys have this completed. I can see the data on my end that you guys have done it. So just make sure you get that done. It's self-paced at your own learning, okay? Other than that, I think we're gonna hop off today. So the recording for this week will be up on YouTube. We only upload one recording a week because we tend to kind of go over the same information per week. So if you guys don't have any questions, feel free to hop off and I will see you on Thursday at 10 a.m. Have a good rest of your day.